Oh, I'm here. I'm live, I think. Okay. Hi. We're back for another Art Fun Friday, and I hope you had a nice week. I did. I made some art this week, and I found more time to do it than I thought I could. So that was kind of cool and kind of fun. To start tonight, I'm going to share something with you that I found because I went back to school in my classroom and I grabbed some things out of there that I had no idea um, I needed. And so it's funny the things that you forget that you need, that you miss, that you love. So I had this book and in my classroom, and it's called "If I Could Tell You Just One Thing," and it is written by somebody named Richard Reed. And he goes around and he believes that if he meets somebody remarkable, that he should just ask them for their one best piece of advice, which I think is a great thing because we pick up so much from other people. I do anyway. And so, in having a conversation with Sir David Attenborough, I'm a terrible speller, terrible with names, and I feel bad about that. So he's an English broadcaster and a natural historian. He said this was his advice, and I think it's really good for right now, and it goes with what we're doing today for Maya's art lesson. So I'm going to tell you what he said. He says, "I have never met a child that is not fascinated by our natural world, the animal kingdom, and the wonders within it. It is only as we get older that we sometimes lose that sense of wonderment. But I think we would all be better off if we kept it. So my advice is to never lose that. Do what you can to always keep that sense of magic with our natural world alive." And because today we're talking about making wishes and we're working with something that's very natural, dandelions, I thought that that was pretty appropriate. So tonight we're going to focus on making some dandelions. We're going to do this two different ways. I tried something different this week. I put out a picture of the supplies we would use, hoping that would help some people prepare ahead of time. So we're going to do one of these using cotton, and those are just chalk lines, but cotton and glue. And then the other ones we're going to do using paint and a toilet paper roll. So I was trying to think of things what people may or may not have in the house. So hopefully you have one of these handy, and we'll get started. I'm going to start with the paint one. So we're going to prepare our paintbrush. To do this, we need scissors, and we're going to cut this about halfway up. So just halfway to the middle, okay? And you're going to want to not leave too much space between each slit. So I'm going to cut one, and then I'm going to move over about a centimeter, or like a fingernail. And I'm going to do my next one. So, there's cooking shows. My mom loves watching the cooking shows, and I used to enjoy watching them too. I used to make jokes in my darkroom when I was teaching. Okay, when you do a demonstration and all of a sudden you put in a raw turkey and out of the oven comes the cooked turkey. Well, I figure for this, if I'm doing this live, I definitely don't want to have my stuff made ahead of time because I want you to do it with me. So hopefully you're cutting like I am. Is anybody here with me? I don't know if anyone's here. I'm going to see if all of you are here. I can't see. I'm not sure if you're here, but you can say hi to me while I'm cutting. I can look at the screen. I don't know if it's on or not. Maybe it's not. Okay, so we're cutting. I could just be talking to myself right now. I don't even know if anybody's here at all. My family says they're watching downstairs. So that's fun. And apparently if I mentioned Tiger King, that would make people happy. Oh, good. Brooke says hi. Oh, good. The Hoolies are here too. Okay, good. This is great. I love that. Well, yay. I have Kennedy and Brooke and Connor, I imagine, and the Mays. Oh, and the Worgans. Oh, good. I have the Langs are in the house too. Okay, I have lots of friends. That's fun. Now I feel better. Are you all cutting? I hope you're cutting. This is the hardest thing about not teaching in the classroom. We always say that I believe we get a lot of energy from our students, even if they're not in a good mood and they're just looking at me like I'm crazy, which is most times. I still get energy from that. So not having you here. It's hard to interact with a screen that's not talking back, you know? Anyway, when you cut your lines, then go ahead and push this down. We're making this like a little paintbrush. So you're going to kind of flatten it out. So go ahead and flatten that out. Okay. How's the cutting going? Oh my goodness, I have cousin Molly and she and Amelia are watching. Very fun. Cool. Well, hi family. Hi friends. Okay, so this is my paintbrush. It's very prepared. Hopefully yours is prepared too. And hopefully you didn't hurt yourself. Okay, now I'm going to put this down. I'm going to get some paint. Whatever paint you have works. So I'm going to take some paint and I'm going to squirt it out on my little palette. And then after I do that, just a little dollop, I'm going to take a paintbrush and I am going to swirl this out and I'm going to make a circle. Last week we were making the Kandinsky circles. It was really fun walking up and down my block and seeing my neighbors who did the project. I saw Maya's and that was super fun. I love seeing the art in the window. Definitely art for the windows. Okay, so you're going to take this and you're going to swirl it out, and it kind of has to be a big circle because your brush, your paintbrush has to fit inside there. So make sure that you swirled it enough so that it's kind of wide, okay? And you can have a generous amount of paint in there. So I might actually add a little more because I'm feeling saucy. Okay, so I'm going to swirl this out. Go in a circle. Okay. Now, does everyone know what a dandelion is? Dandelions are those yellow flowers that as they mature, well, they're weeds. I think they're weeds. I assume they're weeds because they're growing in the grass. And as they mature, they turn into white seedling flowers. And so I'm going to take my little paintbrush now and I'm going to push down in here. And I'm going to swirl this too. So I'm picking it up. I hope you can see this. Swirl, swirl, swirl. And then when I was little, I would always pick them up and blow on them and make a wish. And I thought, I haven't done that in a while. And I'm not going to take credit for this at all because I found this on YouTube. All good artists steal. We like to steal. So I saw this from another person, a couple of people actually. Okay, so my paintbrush is covered. Look at the bottom of yours and make sure that there is enough paint on there, okay? So we might have to slap it around a little bit. All right, ready for the magic? Here we go. You're going to take it on your paper and you're going to kind of press it and then stamp and then turn. And you could kind of do it a couple times and give it some nice movement. Okay? And then if you want to get in the middle, you could kind of, I don't know, I could say I could kind of tickle the middle. And these edges here become like little small dabs of my paintbrush. And if you remember, I know it's been a while since we've seen a dandelion, but they're translucent. You could see through them, right? You know, I'm going to figure out how to be able to take this screen and show something else because I wanted to be able to show a photo of a dandelion here like fancy YouTube people, but I'm not there yet. I'm just learning. Okay, so either way, I'm going to just use this brush and sort of dab in and create the texture. It's like we're dot, 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 and it kind of fills it in, okay? Now, after you make one, I'm going to go ahead and make a second one. It might require me to get more paint. I'm going to do that. I'm going to get a little more paint. Samson's. The picture was helpful. Good. Oh, good, good. They're sitting back and relaxing. I'm so glad. The Hoolies. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to swirl out some more. Swirl, swirl, swirl. And I'm going to get a second level. And then this time, I'm going to put it over here, just down here. Maybe even overlap a little. And then I'm going to fill in my middle, same way as I did before. Okay, cool. Now, that movement that we're doing, it's giving the effect of a windy day, which I love because you know we're going to make a wish when this is over. All right, now the stems, because these would be in the ground. How can I draw the stems if I don't have a paintbrush at home? Well, this is a fun little trick. I'm going to use the edge of this because it is a super thin line, and I'm going to get paint on it. So I'm rubbing it right into here. Ready for this party trick? I'm going to take this line and I'm just going to run it straight down. Boop. And now I'm going to do this one, and this one might cross this way. Joop. Maybe I need more paint. But if you do have chalk, I did have a piece of chalk on my supply list. You could do your line with like a little thin piece of chalk. That works too. And you could fill in some of these areas with that chalk too, if that brush didn't fill it in. And it becomes this mixed media collage, which could be fun, right? If you do it a little darker, like in the center of the dandelion, that would be like where the middle is, and all those seedlings are coming out of there. I wish my bio friend could tell me why. I just don't know. All right, so now, last part. It's time to make a wish. So, my friends, here's my wish for you. I wish that, just like children who look at everything with wonderment, I really wish that we can find something good right now from this, all this time that we get to spend with our family. I wish that all of you are finding some good. And I'm blowing on my dandelion, and I'm wishing some of that good stuff for you. And then poof. See, we made a wish. It all is going to come true. Just like that. You'll all magically appreciate what's happening. Okay, so that was one way. That was the paint way, the messy way, which is fun. I promise you we'll get messy, and messy is good. Now I have lots of paint. All right, so the next one I'm going to show you now is going to be with cotton and a glue stick. And this is fun. I did not find this one on YouTube, but I bet it exists because there's no way I made this up. I was just like, oh, when I started doing this. I was thinking about the people who may not have paint in their home. And I was like, well, what could somebody else have in their house that would work to make a dandelion? And I thought, I think homes sometimes have cotton balls. And then I thought sometimes maybe somebody doesn't have a cotton ball. But what I'm hoping right now is that you have maybe a piece of toilet paper, and maybe you don't want to spare the toilet paper because, of obvious reasons. So maybe you don't want to use that. But I think toilet paper or napkin or paper towel would work too. So again, I'm trying to come up with things we have in our house without having to go to the store. All right, friends, here we go. For this one, with my glue stick, I'm going to draw the dandelion again. And I'm going to just draw a circle. And you have to decide how big you want your circle to be. I'm going to make one, I don't know, bigger than the size of a quarter. So I'm just going to swirl. Okay. So it's about that wide. That's how wide I made it. All right. Now I'm going to take my cotton ball and I'm going to rip it apart, which, oh my gosh, I don't like that feeling. Oh, ooh, I don't like that. That's like biting off gloves in the winter with snow on them. No, no, not a fan. Oh, now I'm cringing. Nails on a chalkboard. Oh dear. Oh my. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. I have my cotton and I'm going to sort of swirl it around here over the glue. Now where the glue is, it's going to pick it up and it's going to get a really fun texture. Now you can use your finger and you can mash it in there and it is going to create a really cool texture. So try that out. I did not tell you you were going to stay clean while doing this. Part of the fun of this is getting messy. Okay, boom. And it looks so fun from the side. I always sometimes think paintings and things need to be looked at from the side. I believe this. So do a couple. Swirl, 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 swirl. Maybe you're going to change some of the size of your dandelions. When I was making the practice for this, for my friend Maya, I put my phone above looking down on top of a glass and I totally knocked it over and the camera went and everything got jumbly. It was silly. But sometimes accidents happen. So what are you going to do? All right, I'm going to add another one here. So you add as many as you want. And we're about wrapping up here. So hopefully you are enjoying this episode of Art Fun Friday. I will be back next Friday. So I'm going to do this all the way through April. As long as I can't go back to school, and if I have to be home on Friday, I figure I will give us something for us to do on Friday. Olivia thinks I'm wearing a Nashville shirt. Olivia, I am wearing a Ryman shirt. One spring break, my husband and I went to Nashville. We went to we toured the Ryman Auditorium. Nashville is one of our most favorite places. We love to listen to the music. And we went to the Ryman, and I love the Ryman. That's kind of a magical place. But yes, Olivia, I am definitely wearing a shirt from Nashville. Thanks for noticing. I am going to, Mark, you're the best. I am going to draw the stems down here with my chalk. And if you don't have chalk and you still have that paint on here, you can draw your line that way. You could use a pencil. You could use whatever you have. So I'm just going to go ahead and draw my stem. Oh, wait, I forgot to make a wish. I need to make a wish, huh? All right. Now this one will be a little more tricky. How do I do this? I didn't think about that. All right, maybe I'm just going to smear a little glue out. I'll just go that way. And then I'll do that same thing this way. I forgot to think about that. Oh, and this will be fun. It'll overlap, and then it'll create depth. Let's do that. Okay, that'll work. All right. So we're getting ready here to wrap up. I am making another wish for you. I wish that you are finding time for yourself during this. And if art is a thing that helps you take time for yourself, then I'm so glad you're doing this. And whatever the thing is that helps you feel like you are taking some time and appreciating the small stuff, I hope that you do. Okay, there's my wish. And that brings us to the end. So thank you so much, Cassidy. Oh, Cassidy, I like you too a lot. I like all the parts, all the things. Thanks, guys, so much for joining me. And I really appreciate all of you being here. And I hope you guys take care and take time to make wishes like children and enjoy the little things. I'll see you next week. Have a great week. Bye-bye.